Hey everybody, sorry for the low quality video, but that's actually what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about how to use your smartphone to get as high quality video and audio as is possible. This is going to be the first installment of what we're calling the master class. This is coming out of my group called the Andrarchists, which is basically an incubator for new and upcoming talent within the Steemit, social network. New content creators, people who are new to the platform and new to creating content, who have potential but who haven't been able to break in. And so the Andrarchists is really just a place for those people to come together and work together to improve their skills and to network. And it's going so well. I can't tell you how happy I am about how well it's going. And I am doing this much. It's really all the users. And one of the users at Razvanul, I'll include his information and I'll be talking about him some more. This is his idea. He came up with the idea of every week doing a masterclass for our users where we teach something that needs to be taught, something for which the Andrarchists can use, whether it's how to shoot better video, how to come up with better titles, things like that. And we actually want to put it out there for you guys to weigh in and give your thoughts. So that we can all benefit from it. Why not use the Andrarchists as a problem-solving mechanism for the crowd? The crowd can submit through the comments their requests for what type of content they want to see, specifically content related to helping them improve their content or just improve their lives. I mean, we're open to suggestions. And so this is going to be our first one. This video is going to go in that introductory post, so you can reply in the comments to that post about what master classes you guys want to see, and then we'll try to find somebody who can step up and create that content. I'm going to do the first one, but my hope is and my plan is to immediately pass this on to other people and have them run with it. So I'm going to start with how to shoot quick and dirty, but good enough video on your smartphone. And then next week, Razvanul is going to follow this up with our next video. And he's going to use this video and this coming week to hone his skills for video production and public speaking. And you guys are going to get to see how well this works, what type of quality content this relationship can have. And so I'm going to walk you through right now. I'm going to keep recording, and you guys are going to be able to watch me convert this video, hopefully, what you're seeing right now, into something that's actually worthy of posting, because as of now doesn't reach my personal standards for content. But I wanted you guys to get an idea of where we're starting from. And if I move around here, you can see that the quality of the video can change dramatically based on lighting. But the first tip I want to give you, actually there are two tips already that are really important. One, clean your lens on your smartphone. If it doesn't look great, if it doesn't look sharp, if it's a little foggy, you probably got some fingerprint oil on your lens. Make sure you clean that off. Second, right now I am using the front-facing camera. On every smartphone I'm aware of, that is a significantly inferior sensor. It has fewer megapixels and it's just really not optimized for creating high quality video content. So it's a little tougher to shoot with the rear facing camera because you can't frame as well. And so you just have to practice, because you're wasting that great sensor if you don't use it. So I'm going to switch right now and let's see how that affects the image. All right, so now I'm using the rear facing camera and hopefully you can notice a difference. But the next step, the next most important step, in my opinion, is getting this camera stationary. Sensors just do better when they're standing still. The two most important features of video that just immediately degrade the quality is bad audio and shaky video. So getting this stationary is our next big step. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on a tripod. You can use a bookshelf, you can use anything. However, the beauty of a tripod is that you can adapt to the lighting, and lighting is extremely important for video production, and we'll get to that later. So what I have to do here is I need one of these. This came off of a selfie stick. This came with a cheap $15 selfie stick. It seems like the lowest price anything can really get on Amazon is 15 bucks. So you're gonna hear a lot of 15 bucks. For example, I'm sure you can find a crappy plastic tripod on Amazon for 15 to 30 bucks. Now that's if you're in America. If you're someplace else, I don't know, because you know, this is where I'm from, and fortunately, you know, we have access to lots of great stuff. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just has to be able to hold our camera, hold this, and you'll see, you know, most threads have this thread. Most camera equipment come with this same thread. So it's not like I bought these intentionally. I need both hands for this, so I'm not recording with my iPhone. But see, this is just an ordinary tripod clip. It goes in here. I have two types of tripods. One just has a screw, so it doesn't have this clippy thing. There are advantages and disadvantages. The advantage of this type of tripod is that you can get multiple clips like this, and then you can attach them to different cameras. And then when you need to switch cameras, you can just pop them in and out of the tripod. But that's really for advanced videographers. Any tripod, any tripod will do for this. So I'm going to get this in here. All right, so I've got my selfie stick smartphone holder clipped in here. I'm gonna bring this over to the tripod. Let's see here. And this should just click right in here. Boom. All right, and now I'm going to move this over here. And now we are stationary. Okay. The thing with smartphones is that they have a wide angle. So if you position the camera too high, it'll look like you're a giant looking down on somebody. If you push it too low, you'll look like a very short person. So now we've got it stationary. But I don't know how the light is looking. And in fact, you know, an interesting trick might be to switch right now to the front-facing camera just to test out the light. So let's do that now. Okay, so now we're using the front-facing camera. And see, this isn't ideal light here. I'm gonna try to use the natural light because that's the cheapest setup you can do, and actually it can be good enough under certain circumstances. So the problem here is that I'm unevenly lit. This is too light, this is too dark. Well, I mean, this is actually good. This is just too dark. It's distracting. So let's move this. Now, Here's definitely what you don't want to do. How does that look? Right, so I've got the light source behind me. So the camera is having difficulty figuring out what to expose for. And basically right now it's exposing for, this right here for the bright spot. And here, this natural light, it's very bright, it's coming through the window. And so I'm dark and the contrast is aesthetically unappealing. So let's reverse this. And so that's already better, right? So now the light is hitting me evenly. And now this is not a distracting image. This is good. This is good enough right here. And it's the front-facing camera. It's not even the rear-facing camera. So let's flip it around. I am willing to say right now that this is good enough. If you're uncomfortable flipping it, using the rear-facing camera so that you can't see what you're shooting, then I guess in a pinch the front-facing cameras on these smartphones are now getting good enough. They shoot HD video. I guess that might be my limitation. I would say if it's shooting 1080p, then it should be good enough quality for posting. But just for the sake of testing it out and showing you guys what you can and can't do, I'll flip around to the rear-facing camera now and you can see the difference for yourself. So now I'm using the rear-facing camera, and what you should see, you might not, maybe there's no discernible difference between 1080p video from the front-facing camera and the rear-facing camera at this point. Up until very recently, the differences between those sensors, which are, by the way, they're different sensors. That might be something that not everybody understands, but they're using different sensors, and that used to be a very big discrepancy. Maybe now it's not so bad, but what you should be seeing is a bit more definition and a bit more dynamic range. Dynamic range is basically the ability to capture the extremely bright spots and the extremely dark spots. And that's actually why lighting is so important. You're using lighting to make up for the flaws in the dynamic range of the sensor. So that's why before my face was, the left side of my face was lit and the right side was in shadows. Now, if you were looking at me in person, you wouldn't find that distracting, obviously. But because of the low dynamic range of these sensors, it is distracting. So I had to move and have the light hitting me evenly so that that issue didn't come up. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is audio. I am extremely impressed by the audio quality that comes out of iPhones. My iPhone 6 Plus, I bet you the new iPhone 6s is even better. They cram a lot of technology into these phones. Now, obviously, it's not as good as a microphone that costs $1,000 or $500. However, it's great bang for your buck, especially if you're walking around outside, because Apple needs to make sure, Apple is actually very good about this. I'm not saying they're a perfect company, I'm not saying they're saints, but they understand that if the audio quality that you get when you call people or when you video chat with people, if that audio quality is bad, you're going to be left with a bad taste in your mouth from the experience. You're going to be disappointed in the performance of your tool. And so they put a lot of work into making sure that these microphones are really good at picking up your voice out of the noise. It's not about getting perfect audio video quality. It's about getting good enough quality so that it's not distracting to the viewer. When I go back and look at my previous posts, I don't like I don't like the video, I don't like the audio. I see all the flaws. But I don't look back and regret posting it. I did as well as I could at the time, and I created something that I believed would have good enough video quality that it wouldn't distract from the content, which was the real value that I was proposing. And the crowd rewarded that. The crowd confirmed for me my theory that I did good enough audio, good enough video to not distract from my content, which was also good enough. I'm constantly refining my content. I am constantly developing theories, and I'm constantly using Steemit to test those theories. And I look at the rewards and I adjust my approach based on that. For me, the question is, there's content I want to make. There's content I want to make. And then there's content the users of Steemit and the whales want to see. And I look for the overlap. Let's talk more about audio. The key to maximizing the audio quality you get from the smartphone is basically, it all comes down to the spot you're in. You need quiet. It's really quite as simple as that. If you have quiet, if you don't have anything distracting from your voice, then the audio quality should be good enough. Now, if you want to kick it up a notch, here's my recommendation, and this is what I use, and I'm sure many people who follow me will know what it looks like. This is a lavalier microphone. It costs, guess how much? Guess how much it costs on Amazon? 15 bucks. Now see, here's the tough part. I use my smartphone to record my audio, and I record the video with my Sony a6300, which is a $1,000 camera. That is the best bang for the buck camera I think you can purchase if you really want to take your video to the next level. However, I understand that that is a lot of money to spend on something. I already had the camera, so it's not like it was an additional expense to me. However, you can still use this lavalier mic with your smartphone. It's just going to be, it just might be a little bit distracting. So I'm gonna hook it up. I'm still gonna record the video from the smartphone, and let's see how it looks. Oh, another thing is, check the video a lot. Adjust, you know, what if I just recorded all of that video and the top of my head was cut off? So it can be scary, because if you spend 10 minutes thinking about something and you realize you shot it bad, you're gonna have to shoot it over again. No way around it. Oh, it looks great. Let's see what it looks like when I put the lav mic on it. Actually, what I'm gonna do again is use the front-facing camera to see how this looks. Yeah, I actually think this can work. So I need to angle up a bit here. I'm gonna raise the tripod. Now if I stand this far away, the mic doesn't look that bad. Now I'm actually just gonna test this out right now, because I don't know the viewing angle for the rear facing camera and the front facing camera, I assume are somewhat different. So I'm just gonna record this little bit of video right here. Then I'm going to stop the video, go back, test it out, look at where I'm standing, look at where I'm positioned relative to the camera, and then look at the video, just make sure it's good. And I was recording using the front facing camera. So, you know, good thing I checked. Another lesson learned there, I was still recording with the front-facing camera, so that's part of the reason why you want to check your video. And that's actually something I've had to learn along the way. It never costs too much to double, triple, quadruple check your frame, how the video looks. Too many times I will shoot some video, inspect the frame, make sure that the shot is set up right, adjust the video, and then go, oh, I probably nailed it. Sit down, talk for 10 minutes, go back, look at the video, my head's cut off. And if you look at some of my past videos, actually, you'll notice that. The framing isn't good. That's why my new thing is overcheck the frame. Make sure you've got the shot nailed. Every minute invested in that saves you 10, 20, 30 minutes over the long run. Because if you shoot a 10-minute video and you didn't frame it properly, oh man, you gotta shoot it again. You either gotta shoot it again or put out inferior content. So I'm gonna check this frame again and then we'll come back. All right, that didn't look too bad, but I wanted to see if I could stand a bit further away, get more of my body into the shot, something closer to a medium shot, where it's my body and my head as opposed to a close-up. Now what I'm worried about is that this string is too much in the shot. So let's take another look. Okay, that looked acceptable, but I actually, more importantly, I felt was to angle up the camera and not necessarily stand so far away. I think the most important part is getting all of my head in the frame. I know it's weird to talk about like your body parts in this way. You want your entire face, head area to be in the shot, and I want as little of this mic in there as possible. So that's why I've settled on this frame, but I still have to quadruple check it, make sure it's good before I move on. Still wasn't happy with that, so I moved the camera up. I didn't angle it up more because you don't want to angle the camera too much, otherwise it looks like somebody's looking up at you. You really want it at around eye level. It's just a little hard to gauge eye level with these smartphones because they have this wide angle lens. So that tends to really exaggerate the angle that it looks like the phone is at. So I raised the camera instead of tilting it up more, and now gonna quintuple check or whatever. All right, there it is. I think we got it. I think this frame looks good, and you can compare it to the first video, the beginning of this video, how that looked versus how this looked, and I think we're pretty much done. I think now you've got everything you need to know to get started shooting good enough video. And remember, this is basically the most advanced part of this tutorial. Yes, getting the camera stationary might be difficult. You might need a tripod unless you can fashion something else. The main priorities are that you can make the phone stationary, that you can adjust the height, and you can adjust the position in three-dimensional space to better leverage light. I guess that's the end of this first masterclass. This is how to shoot some quick and dirty video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys liked the idea of a masterclass. Again, comment in the section below about what kind of masterclasses you would like to see, what type of subjects you'd like to see, and the andrarchists will hopefully rise to the occasion. See ya.